Welcome to the It Matters podcast. I'm your host, Walter Perez, and let's dive in as we help you grow your mindset and elevate your leadership. Hey, everybody, welcome back to the It Matters podcast. I'm so glad you're joining me today. I really appreciate the love and support you guys have been showing me. And if you haven't checked out the past episodes, can I encourage you to go check that out? I've had some amazing guests that have really brought it and have given you some amazing nuggets and thought-provoking ideas that will not only encourage you, but add value to anything that you're doing. And so I want to encourage you to check that out. Today, though, I want to bring you another solo episode. I've been thinking about a few things, and the team and I just came out of putting an event together that you'll hear more about, the iConnect Party. It is for our local community here in Edmonton, but there's some big dreams and big ideas for that. But we think we pulled off a successful event in our minds and how that's going to unfold, and I think we started something great. But that hasn't come with some no's. That hasn't come with some restraints and bumps and pushback along the way. And so I wanted to chat with you guys about the power of the no. Why is understanding no so important? Now, I don't want to talk about it from the perspective of you becoming better at saying no, though there is something important there, and I think that's a conversation for another time. But I want to talk about no when you get no's, when you are making a sale, when you're trying to push through, when you're trying to break through and you're finding some restraint and you're getting no's. And so I want to give you some thoughts around this on why no's can actually be very powerful and very important in your life. You see, sometimes no's can be interpreted as failure. No's can sometimes be interpreted as, oh, okay, actually, you're in a completely wrong arena. You're in a completely wrong job or project. You're not even supposed to be doing that. And that's what no means. Now, could it possibly mean that? I think there's a small chance, maybe. But in reality, a lot of the time, no just means that it gives you an opportunity to learn. It gives you an opportunity to pivot. Have you heard me pivot lately? Talk about pivot lately? I wrote a blog not too long ago on failure. I did a solo episode on pivoting because these things are important to talk about, and it's important for us to embrace this idea of what it looks like to fail forward and to move forward even when we are feeling like things are moving a little slow. And so no gives us an opportunity to learn. And I think it's so important to grasp this because sometimes we get into this mindset, and you've heard me talk about perfectionism, that we want to have everything work out so perfect. We always want things to flow. And failure, or the idea of failure, freezes us. So the idea of getting a no freezes us, and we're thinking, well, I can't handle rejection, so I'm not going to do anything. Or you overanalyze things and you think, okay, everything has to go the way I have planned it, and I have to think about every possible scenario so I don't fail. Can I tell you that it will not work? I'm not the only one that's going to tell you. You can read in any success book. You can, you can go listen to anybody out there that has done something that has moved them forward in life. They will tell you that failure was part of the process. And so it's important to understand this and start doing things in your life that pushes the envelope, that stretches you, that gets you out of your comfort zone, so you can take some no's and realize that no's are actually building blocks to getting what you want. We have to get out of this mindset that we want to be an overnight success. And I know that we all heard and hear things like, no, you can't accomplish things overnight. We hear that, but we still try to live life like that. And so we got to stop. So being successful is not about being an overnight success, but it's about being an over time success. Success happens over time, not overnight. And I think I just heard that concept, and I love that illustration or that clarity on that, because it really gives us permission to say, okay, I need to play the patient game. I need to I need to be able to give an opportunity for me to mature, to learn, to grow. And so when we approach it from that, no's actually don't become an attack on our personality, on our identity, on ourselves. No, it's part of the game. It's part of business. It's part of building a team, working on a project. No, it does not have to be fatal. No, does not have to be absolute. It can be an opportunity for us to grow and learn. What about this other thought? No, I heard this actually an acronym of no, meaning next opportunity. I love this. I actually heard this years ago from Mark Brunette. Do you know who Mark Brunette is? Mark Brunette is a producer, a television producer. He's done shows like Survivor. He's done shows like Shark Tank and many more. And he tells a story about when he was trying to pitch Survivor, and he's going to different companies and trying to sell this idea, this show, and he's getting no's, no's, no's. And in his mind, he planted it and said, no to me means next opportunity. And he continued to break through. And what happens? He ends up getting a deal, puts out this show, and now Survivors has been going for years. I mean, I lost count how many seasons it's been on, and it has had great success. But what if he would have stopped at the first couple of no's? What if he would have, somebody's opinion or somebody's idea or misunderstanding of what he was trying to do would have kept him from continuing moving forward? He wouldn't have done all the other projects that he has done and has made him so successful and impacted our culture. And so I love this idea that no means next opportunity. What is the next opportunity? Okay, well, you said no, doesn't fit for you. Okay, well, let's keep going. I'm going to adjust and tweak along the way, and let's keep going and see what other opportunities are out there. And so when you realize that it opens up other doors, and sometimes a no has closed the door and it's actually beneficial for you. You might not have been able to see the whole thing, and later on, hindsight, you go, oh wow, if I would have said yes, or if they would have said yes to me, my journey wouldn't have gone in this direction, and I actually wouldn't have been as productive or as successful. And so you start being more attentive, and you're thankful that it didn't work that way. And so you have to realize that sometimes things are not meant to work out that way. So don't take it personal. Go and say, okay, how can I move along? And maybe it's not that your idea is bad. Maybe it's just these people were not supposed to be part of your life. These companies, these projects, these individuals were not supposed to be part of your life in this season, and the ones that are actually just up ahead. Next opportunity. I love this idea too, that no can lead us to another yes. But actually, let me put it this way: a no can lead you to a better and bigger yes. Sometimes we could be kind of dreaming a little small. Sometimes we could be putting our ideas or whatever we're working on in a box and actually not realize that there were actually some bigger things going on around you. And when you got that no, it actually opened up that door for a bigger and better yes. And I think that if we start being a little bit positive, not just positive, but have this mindset that actually I am going to fail. I am going to hit bumps along the road and trip here or there. But those are all part of the journey that lead me to learning, growing, maturing. They lead me to exploring other opportunities. They lead me to saying yes to some things. When we say no to some things, it opens up the doors for us to say yes to other things. When people say no to us, sometimes that actually gives us the opportunity or permission to be able to say yes to something else, or for somebody else to say yes. And so this is the idea, guys, that this whole thing that we're all working on in leadership, whether that's at home, whether that's in business, at work, in projects, whatever you're doing, wherever you're leading, all of you are leading in some way. Remember that. No's just give us an opportunity to go for something bigger and better and to explore other ideas. And those ideas sometimes do not show themselves until we break through that first no, the second no, however many you do. And it's this idea too of not wanting to give up. Now, I think as we mature, as we grow, we learn from other people's experience, we learn from our experiences, and we get to kind of catch and going, okay, I've been in this road before, down this road before. I've this looks familiar. Actually, this is a no. This is actually not somewhere I need to be. This is not an area that I need to pursue. Other times, though, you can be very convicted and so you're so caught up in your vision. You know what you're trying to do, that you're able to understand that, okay, actually, that was a true no. They don't understand me. It's time for me to go in this direction and continue moving forward. This no is not supposed to keep me down or take me off track. And so I wanted to encourage you with that, because I'm seeing too many people get frozen in time when they start connecting no's with failure. And failure, the idea here is not to have this mentality that failure is not an option. Can I say that if you have the philosophy that failure is not an option, it's not going to work out for you. Failure needs to be an option, because there's so many things at play in life that you do not have control of. You can only control so much. You can only plan so much. You can only look ahead so far. And there's so many other things at play. There's other people involved. There's other people's schedules, times, projects, other things that you cannot foretell that will affect you. And then the real question is, how are you going to get up when you trip? How are you going to react to that? What is going to be your attitude? What's your perspective on all this? Are you in this for the long haul, or were you just trying to try to find something quick and you wanted to get to the top, and you realize that your motives were actually not in the right place? Your motives, can I encourage you to check your motives? Check what you're really trying to do. And I hope that you're in the long run, you're wanting to add value, that you're wanting to bring people along with you. You might be building a product. You might be working on a project. But remember that all of that involves people. And so the leadership journey can be tough at times, but it doesn't mean that it's wrong, or it doesn't mean that it's not for you. No, it just means that you need to learn and grow. Anyways, I hope that this gives you some thoughts. I hope that this encourages you. I'm talking to you about this because you're looking at a guy that has failed, that has had no's, that continues to get no's, will continue to experience no's and failures. But yet here we are. Here we are talking on a podcast. Here I just told you that we put an event together. Here we're talking about envisioning the future and creating new things and doing more through what we are doing over here. And if I would have stopped years ago when I got the first no's, we wouldn't be sitting here. You wouldn't be hearing me teaching you on this part, because that's what I had to go through. And so you're hearing it from a guy that has learned the hard way. And I want to be able to encourage you to not give up, to make sure, yes, have some vision. Yes, do put some plans in place, but also know that it's not this perfect journey. There's going to be things that are unpredictable. And but I assure you that if you continue to break through and continue to follow through, you're going to get wins. And you're going to get some wins that will not only bring some of your dreams to reality, but actually it'll even be better than you ever imagined. It'll even be better than you even imagined. And so keep going, do something new today, do something different, go grow, go stretch yourself, and go prove to yourself that you're not going to be knocked down by the first no or by any failure that comes your way. Guys, I really appreciate you joining me in this episode. I hope this encourages you. Please, if you know somebody that could value from this, share this episode. Comment, go over to the YouTube, whether you're on Spotify or Apple, make a comment, like us, follow us, and you'll see me on the next episode as we continue to work in bringing you some great guests and great thoughts and great leadership principles as we continue to grow together and continue to develop our dreams. And like I always say, right? You want to dream big, grow always, and lead well. Time is now.